I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is February 23rd, 2019, and in this video, I'm going to be using some SVG files in Fusion 360 to design some wall art and then 3D print it out. Okay, I was recently inspired by this video, at least not the video itself, but the wall art behind it. So there's a set of videos that YouTube puts on for the creators or whatnot. Interesting to watch sometimes, but they have this little gallery behind them, and I saw this bicycle picture back here, and I thought, that's kind of like a shadow. And if I can find an SVG file like that where everything happens to be connected, you know, there's no free spot. Well, even if there is a free spot, if there's no free spot, then I could take an SVG file, put it in there, and also design a frame, put it all in there where, like here, the bicycle is touching the frame, and I could print it all as one piece. And even if there are spots, the other choice is you could actually, you know, my idea was where there is no black spot, that there would just be empty space. And I'm not sure if that's what's in this frame, but I thought, wow, that'd be pretty cool just to have this shadow print. And there's plenty of SVG files out there. So that's the idea. So a couple of things out there. I went and found this bicycle picture. And so I couldn't quite find the picture, you know, I couldn't find this picture anywhere as an SVG file. So if someone knows, tell me, because I think that'd be a real cool picture to print out. But in the meantime, just for testing purposes, and also it kind of looks cool, I went over to here to this website. I was trying to find a bicycle thing. And so I've created this. And I'm going to do a little redesign this and show you what I did. But this is the SVG file I downloaded. Now, another thing, if you're not a crafter, or not a crafter slash, what's the books? Anyway, crafter, not the people who are always making the books. People are always making the baby books and whatnot. Why can't I think of that name? Anyway, people always make those baby books. A lot of them have Cricut machines, which is a little cutter that can cut paper by design. They know what an SVG file is. So my mother, big craft person, and so, but not a techno person at all. And so I said, hey, do you know what an SVG file is? She goes, oh yeah, SVG file. So if you don't know what SVG files, or you don't know where to find some good ones, if you have a craft person in your life, you will find them. Just go bug them and they will, oh, here's some, or they probably already have a bunch. But one place to go find them is Etsy. They're selling them left and right. So what I'm going to do here is I already bought this. So on Etsy, I was looking for Fortnite. My son's big into Fortnite. I thought, hey, I could print out a Fortnite picture that he can hang on his wall. So it'll have some thickness to it, but it can hang on his wall. And so what I'm going to do, I already bought this, but I'm going to take one of the individual dancers here. In fact, the flosser guy, because my kids, they're all flossing now. It's funny. It's funny. But I was going to take that just like a shadow, print that out, not do a frame, but put a place in his back where you can nail it to the wall, put a hook on there so he can put it on the wall and give an attempt for that. But if you want to find some cool SVG designs, just go to Etsy, search SVG files or SVG Disney or SVG Fortnite. You will find a bazillion of them. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of free ones available online. Go search for those first. But if you can't find them, Etsy's sure a convenient place to find a bunch of them. And they'll charge you $1, $2 at most, because they're not worth a whole lot. So I bought this. So with that, let me get going, drag this into Fusion 360 and get the design going. Okay, I just thought of the word scrapbookers. So scrapbookers should probably know, chances are they know what an SVG file is. So here is what I did with the bicycle. I'm not going to go too much in depth to it. I'm going to do a little redesign it, and I'll probably post it on Thingiverse. But the flossing Fortnite dancer is probably a little more fun to do. But here, I'll go over the idea real quickly. So here I took the SVG file, imported it, turned it at an angle, and then I built a frame around it. And then I, just extruded the whole thing. So you can see, if I look here, you can see where the bicycle happens to go over. I just didn't, extrude that. And I extruded the bicycle just a little bit. And I don't know how well that shows up here. I'll do a redesign of it. But it's a little snazzy. And I'll probably put a few different versions out there, because maybe you want an empty one, or maybe you do want to fill that space. Or maybe you want to fill that space and have different colors in the wheel or something. I don't know. I got some ideas. But one thing that I didn't do too well on was the hanging. And I don't know if it's going to show up here really well on the video, but there is. I just put a little pinhole in there to put the nail on, and I don't think that's reality. So I've done a little redesign, and so I got this little sawtooth shape in here that's got a cavity in here I did as a test. So I'm going to try to do that in this video. But anyway, there's the bicycle. Now let me do the more fun one. I'll redesign this in a bit, but let me do the more fun one with the flossing, right? So let me go here to a new a new file, and I'll say new component. Call this what? Fortnite Flosser. Fortnite guy or Fortnite guy. Call him Fortnite guy. Come down here. Excuse me. Show the origin. And I'll right click on here and say create a sketch. And so one thing before I bring in an SVG file is I kind of want to know how big I want to make it. So I measured my bed and I think I might be able to, I want to get them as big as I can. So I think I might be able to go up to 230 millimeters. So we'll see. So I'll come down here, but I need a guide because when you bring it in, it gets a little inconvenient. So here I'll make a rectangle and I'll say 230 high. I don't know, 150 high. I don't care really about the width. And so that's kind of my goal size. And then here I'll go insert SVG. And I'll go find where the heck I put him. No, I didn't put him there. He is in testing. Fortnite. Oh, where'd you go? Or are you on the desktop? Where'd I put him? Let me go find it because I won't go over this in detail. But when you download those files, chances are I don't know if SVGs always have to be text or can they be compressed. But in this case, it was text, so I could actually go through the file and comment out some lines and delete the other dancer. So I got it down just to the dancer I wanted, just for convenience sake. I didn't have to do that because I could have brought it in and deleted him here, but I got it down to the one dancer. So let me go find where I stuck that file. Okay, so I found him now. So let me go insert him. So let me say insert SVG. Now that I found the file, so here's my fixed version, which only has the one guy. But again, you could bring the whole crew in if you did that and just delete the other ones. So that's pretty close to my maximum size. Now I can click here and resize him. I'm gonna try to max it. Let me see if I can. I think I can probably even be a little over and be okay. Don't push it, right? Hit there. Let's try that. Hit OK. And so now that's there. So now I'm going to come back. I don't need these lines. They were just meant to guide me to set this up correct. Get this guy roughly the right size. And I'll click on this. And it's just going to be a shadow. So I'm not going to, it's going to be pretty simple. So I'll just do, let me back up. Select this, press Q for my press pull tool, and I'll go up, try to go up 8, yeah, maybe 10 millimeters, because that's about that. Yeah, let's go up 10 millimeters. Hit OK. Now the thing I got to do is I want to put this in the back, but I want to kind of center it as best I can according to the weight on this. Where's the center of mass? There's a cool tool in here. It's not going to be perfect. Well, it does do the calculation perfectly if this thing were to be solid, but it's not going to be solid, but it's going to be pretty close. I can go up here to inspect and say center of mass. Select that, click this guy, hit OK, and it puts a little icon there showing you the center of the mass of this guy. And so you see that? That is the center of the mass of this dancer because he's, flossing over the right. So I'll go to the back. Click on here and say create a sketch. Let me click on this and what are you doing? There you go. Create sketch. So I'm going to create a sketch on the back to allow for my little teeth here. And so what I want to do is I want to put this, above the center of mass because I want it hanging down, but also I want to kind of make that center roughly where that center line is. So I'll come up here and I'll say L. Kind of zoom in. Again, it's not going to be perfect, so I don't need to be either. I'll come up straight, hit escape. I'll make this a construction line. And I'll go, probably right about there in his chest is where I want to do it. I'll hit L, and I'll start drawing a line. I'll come out here. I designed this to be about 50 millimeters wide, so I'll go 25 that way. Did I do that 50? Okay, now that seems a little wide, huh? Yeah, I did 50. Well, 50 is going to be a little wide, ain't it? So let me cut this down to 15. Yeah, I go 20. No one's going to see it, right? So I'll do 20. Go over here on the other side. and do 20. And it looks like I could probably want to go up rather than down. And these guys are going to be about, do about 12. Hit here, go up about 12. And just kind of finish this off. Go up 12. There we go. A couple different ways to do this, right? And then I will, well, I got the center marked, that's good. I'll come down here where I want to put my teeth. I'll put a line right here, press D, so I can set the dimensions here. And I want those to be about, what did I do? From top to bottom, they are about 7. So I'll say 7. It gives me a guideline to put my teeth in. Hit L for my line tool, come up here and do, so there's 90, so I'll set 90 plus 30, and tab. Come on. 90 plus 30, tab, until I get that to stick. Come back here, L, 90 minus 30. Boom, I get that. And then I can kind of continue on in that fashion. So I'll say, let's see what's down. 90 plus 30. There we go. And then I'll do, hit S and find mirror. And I will select all these lines. Probably could have done a pattern on this. That might have been a better way to go. Select this line as my mirror. And there we go. But then I need to create a few more lines. Yeah, I don't like that. It's going to go, that's going to go outside. Ah! I just messed that whole thing up, didn't I? Ah. Okay, I need to start that over again, because see, that should be roughly the center of mass right there, right? And of course, I should have reversed this because that line is right there. That shouldn't be like that. So, what can I do? Rather than redo that all, I can come back and say, I can mirror it. Let me try that. Mirror. Let me choose all of these. Mirrored against this line. Hit OK. No, that's not going all the way down. Okay, let me restart that. Okay, restarting. Okay, come over here, press the L tool, press that center, do 90 plus 30. Boom. Let me do the other side. 90 minus 30. And there we go. Let me get rid of these over constraints that I don't need. And then maybe I can do a pattern. Let me try a pattern on path. So I would choose, oh, not faces. Wait, can I choose a face? No, not a face. Features. Components? No. No. Just gotta fight me, doesn't it? Come on. Okay, I'll do it the long-winded way. 90 plus 30. There we go. So let me mirror this now. So let me do a mirror. I'll select that, 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 that. And this tiny little extra guy I made over here. Oh yeah, there we go. And then mirror it against the center. And boom. And then make this one. Oh, it's not going to catch that, is it? And let me go L. Make a line extension here. There. Fix this. And make that one. I think I got that one straight. Let me see. Yeah, not 90 degrees. Okay, I'll make that a construction line now. Make that one a construction line. Make that a construction line. Ugh, boy, that's a pain in the butt. Okay, so now I've got that. So I need to cut that in a little bit. So I will do a Q press pull, and I'll go in, let's see, -3 millimeters. Let me see if that looks correct. Yep. So we got that part. Then, beyond that, it needs to be a gap, otherwise that nail can't get beyond that. So now I'll choose everything. Oh, now I need that line. Let me see. Oop, I need to draw some more lines, don't I? Add a sketch. So I need that to go all the way up to here. There we go. There we go. So select all of this now. Oop, let me stop the sketch. And then come choose all of this. Press Q for my press pull tool. And I first want to offset at those 3 millimeters. So I'll say offset plane, -3. And I'll say, at least 3, right? So I'll say 3 more. And hit OK. And what did I just do to myself? And you wiped everything out. Okay. Oh, I went forward 3. Okay, yeah. Offset plane, -3. Distance, -3. There we go. Boom. There we go. So now it's got a little place in there for the nail to bite. And so the whole thing was 10 millimeters, so tip 6. I could go a little further, right? Let me edit that. So rather than being a total of 6, I could go 2 more. About -5. And then from over here, so basically, I'm done with this now. But let me inspect it. Oh, let me save it. Fortnite Dancer. I'll say inspect. Sectional analysis. I'll just choose something on the side here. Yeah, you're not just choosing the side, are you? There we go. Inspect. Sectional analysis. Now you're going to do from the top. Okay, that's fine. I'll go down, 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 down. There you go. There's my cavity. It's going to be covered up. Enough for a nail. And then boom. Cool. So hit cancel. I think he's done. So let me save him again. Right click on here and say save as STL. Hit OK. And this is my technically my second attempt at making him, so we'll say attempt 02 and call it Fortnite guy. And let's bring him up in the preset control. So there he is, attempt 2, Fortnite guy, and hopefully he's bigger. Cool, I think I might have got the right size. I can rotate him. So let me rotate him, I don't know, 50 degrees? Oop, too much, 45. 40. Let's see what kind of damage I can do. And how about negative 45? Eh, 52. There we go. Ah, look at that. Plenty of room. I can even make him bigger. I want to try to maximize him. So let me say 110. I don't want to try to push it too far. Oh, but let me scale. Let me unlock that because I don't really want to scale him up. So let me change the Z back to 100%. And so he'll only be 10 millimeters high. Yeah, that's about as big as I can make him without pushing it. So let me see. He doesn't need a thick infill. He's not going to be very strong. So I'll just make him sparse. Don't need any extra. And usually I'm doing 20%, but in this case, well, he's going to be kind of long and gangly. Okay, I'll just leave it normal. I'll leave it like normally do. 20%, 0.2 millimeters, hit generate. And we'll see what it looks like here. There we are. Let me make sure we're not pushing it too much with those. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's save the G code and go print this guy. Boom. Let's go see how long it takes. And also, I'm not going to probably videotape it, but I will redesign this guy a little bit and probably put him on Thingiverse, and I'll also show that in this. Okay, so I got both of these guys printed. I got the little Fortnite dancer all printed out, and he has, you know, little holes in the back, little hanger, sawtooth hang on the back. I got this guy printed out, but I am doing a redo of him, so he hasn't been posted to Thingiverse yet. My wife and I aren't too big a fans of that Bill IQ signature down there. It kind of takes away from it. And she kind of pointed out the idea I could put it on the side and be a little more subtle. So I'm doing a redesign of this. I also had to redesign the sawtooth on this. Had a little bit of an issue. Just I need a little bit of an issue. I don't even need to go over it. I fixed it, not a problem. But before I go over the numbers on these, I did want to show a little bit of the fixing on the sawtooth. I think the sawtooth, for this it happens to work. Center of gravity, it kind of worked just fine. But I think there could be an issue. I think I made my sawtooth too big. So I want to kind of go over that. So here is, in Fusion 360, is my bicycle that I made. And if I go edit on this, there's my sawtooth. So I made my sawtooth a lot smaller here. So there you can see that's, if you look at that number, that's 4 millimeters in height. And I'm still trying to get that 60-degree angle. But I figured out how to do the pattern on the path, much easier way to do it. So I kind of wanted to show that rather than wasting your time trying to go up and down like I did at first. So here I'll go create a sketch here, and I'll make a rectangle. I'll make it 4 by 50. Let me zoom in here, and I'll choose the center line here. I'll click on here, which that little triangle there means center line. Oh, not there. Okay, L. Center line to center line to use as a guide. And I'll make that a construction line. And so now from here, I want that to go up there on that center line. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, because you can do a pattern, but the pattern is going to precisely, you want to do the pattern where all the points match up perfectly. And if you don't do that perfectly, they're going to be a little off. And so you could do the math and get this thing set up just right and do the, angle it and do all this stuff and get it just right so you have even numbers. I think that's going to be a pain in the butt. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit L, start a line, come down here, do the 60 degrees, and lock that in. Come down here, and I got that, right? And then I'll just delete that. And then my next line here, and I'll do 60 degrees. Now this one I'm actually going to delete in a second here. So that's the pattern I kind of want to repeat. But like I said, unless you do a little bit of math, the distance between here and here is going to be not an even number typically. So I'll press the D key for checking the distance here, setting the distance. And here I see 4.1688. So I'm going to go over here and just write that down, 4.618. So I'll just write 4.618 just so I remember it. Because even if I do a pattern on a path and I multiply this by 4.618802, that doesn't mean they're all going to line up perfectly. You might have some issues. So what I'm going to do is I will just remember that number and I'll delete that. I'm going to wipe that guy out, hit my S key, search for pattern. See, I'll do a rectangular pattern. This is where I was getting a little messed up before. Rectangular pattern, and I'll select my line. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to make a pattern just for that one angle, not the other one. And I'm going to say, okay, I want that to be a distance of 4.618, that number we just figured out. And if I do a quantity of 2, I guess, 2, that you can see that lines up with pretty much how we want it to be. Now, when I do this, this angle will be perfectly 60 degrees like we want, and so that gets us what we want on that side. But I'll go, let me get how many we want here, 2, 3, 4. Now here I can do math. 4.618 times, I have a quantity of 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4, and boom, there we go. So I'll say, I could do another one if I wanted to, and get to the end, but that's crossing over the end. I'll just come back 1. So I'll say 4, right? Boom. So those are all kind of where I would actually want them to be. Now what I'll do is I'll come down here and make a line here to here, which it says is 60 degrees, so maybe I lucked out. Click on there, hit escape, well hit the S key, hit escape, hit the S key, do the pattern on the path again for this guy. Rectangular pattern, Click on this one, go 5, just like, repeat what we did before. 4.618 times 4. And then I know they're precisely lining up. There's no question about it. See, I can go select these just fine. I'm getting exactly what I want. Oh, maybe I'll make another line down here. Line down here. Line down here. I'll make that a construction line. Okay, now mirror the other side. Select, well, I already have it up, mirror. I'll select all these lines. And I'll select this midline here, and there we go, boom. Then I come over here, hit that, go down, hit that, go down, and there we go. So let me do S and do another bigger rectangle around this whole thing to simulate, the frame. And so now, let me just extrude it to show you what I did. So now I'll go select everything here, do a Q press pull, and I'll go up, let's go up 5 millimeters. And let's go up 10. Go up 10, and I'll go on the back side here. Because now that I would have that, I would want to remove the void, right? Let me bring back my sketch. And now I want to take this part and go back probably 3 millimeters. That's what I've been doing. Q, press pull, say -3, and don't do a join, do a cut. Make sure it's doing what I want it to. Oh, it's going the other way. That's why I did. So I do a 3 in this case. 3. There we go. Got our cut. Hit OK. And the last step, come back here and select that, and then select all these guys. Hit Q. And I want to do an offset plane because I want those teeth to stay there. So I'll say an offset plane of 3, and I want this to be, let's just say 4 millimeters deep, or maybe just 3. And hit cut, hit OK. And that should do it. So now if I do inspect a sectional analysis, choose that, hit OK. Oh. Inspect sectional analysis. There we go. Now you can see I can go through it. I've got that cavity back there, so the heads of the nails should stick through just fine. So that's what I did, and that's probably what I should have done on the Fortnite guy. Well, two things. That's the better way to do this to do it quicker and more precisely. But also, I think I made these teeth too big, so they're too far separate. So if I have to go over one notch, it might be a little off kilter. Where this one, I don't know how well it shows up, there's a lot more tiny teeth. So I'm finishing the redesign for this. I'm actually printing it right now. And then once I get that printed, if it looks nice, I'll put that on Thingiverse, and I'll put a link in here to where that is on Thingiverse for people who might want it as an example. Or if you really think it looks cool. I think it kind of looks cool. But anyway, let me go over the numbers. Now the numbers will be for this guy, which should be close to what this is going to be, plus or minus maybe 5 or 10%, so close enough for government work, right? So first of all, Fortnite guy. Fortnite guy, he took 3 hours and 6 minutes to print. It took 0.027 cents worth of electricity, and he weighs 0.06 kilograms, and at $20 per kilogram, that comes to $1.20 in filament. And so for total cost to print this is $1.23, so not bad at all. And now for the bicycle, this is a little bit more, it's kind of tall, and a lot more going on there. So this took 7 hours and 24 minutes to print. It took 0.062 cents worth of electricity, and it weighs 0.088 kilograms for a total, $20 per kilogram. That comes to $1.76 per kilogram. And so total cost on this is $1.83, which, is not bad for a little paint, something you want to hang on your wall. And I'm sure there's a lot of other cool SVGs you can come up with. Hey, I could put a little Fortnite dancer on there. So I think this was fun. I mean, I think if I show some of these to my mom, the crafty person she is knowing these SVGs, that might give her some ideas. So I might share this video with her, because she might like it. But next, I haven't shown my son this. So I want to kind of film his reaction. So I got a feeling he'll either think, I don't know, he'll either go gaga over it, he'll be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or he'll be like, perplexed. I'm betting on perplexed, because he probably never thought you could do something like that. And he'll go, he's a thinker, and he'll go, and then give him 2 days, and he'll have an idea. Can you print this out? Let's do this. And we'll see. So anyway, let's go see what he thinks. Okay, this may be very anticlimactic. We'll see. So this is my son.
I'm Corbin Bailey.
And I print this thing out, so you can hand it over and see his reaction.
Let me hand it over.
You can hand it over. But
Okay.
You can hang him on the wall. So
Why?
why? I don't know. We were making hanging things, and we thought, and we were doing SVG files, so we found a Fortnite guy. So I have a Fortnite guy file now with them all dancing. I thought, maybe I could hang. You don't have to hang them. I just wanted to see. It's just something to do.
It's kind of cool.
Kind of cool. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Well, I guess that's plenty of this video. I may have another section on here if I can actually figure out. Once I get this guy on, this other redone bicycle, I might put that on here and put a link. But anyway, otherwise this might be the end of the video. So unless there's any last thoughts my son might have. Nope. Just got to absorb all the glory of Fortnite. Okay, so I got my remake done and posted, and it happens to be thing 3451189. So, for anyone interested, I kind of like it. My wife definitely liked the improvement of moving that little word IQless I put in the corner over to the side. The only thing she doesn't seem to like, and I'm kind of with her, I don't know. You like it and you don't. This little thing that I put down here is a little divot for the sawtooth. So her thought was just make the frame bigger, because I think you could make the sawtooth a little thinner, make the frame a little thicker, and then get rid of that little divot, which might have a good look to it. But the idea with this was just to put something out there. I like it, but just as an example, and you can follow this video and make your own. I mean, but if you like it, hey, it's a nice little thing. Anyway, I think it's enough of this video, right? Okay, so we'll just end this here and call it good. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.